So, what is a wedding band and what is a wedding ring and what is its value in our lives? I'm reminded of the question because I have worn, since my marriage, I've worn a wedding ring. And a while ago, when I became very thin, it wouldn't stay on my finger, so I changed the finger. And I suppose, whatever finger it would be, my second finger was a bit tubbier, so it fitted on that one and I kept it there. And latterly, a couple of days ago, I realized I couldn't get it off because of the knuckle, which seemed to have become a little bit bigger. And so it troubled me not to be able to get it off. I don't like those sorts of things. And I thought also, in a spiritual sense, it felt as though I was being bound, because I've sort of detached from my wife, I suppose, when I started to look more philosophically at the nature of our relationship, although we hadn't been living together and had not lived together for many years. I looked more, I suppose I tried to analyze the matter a bit more critically. And we're not really in contact any longer. Not because I don't return calls, I certainly would do, but there just seems to be no inclination on either part to stay in touch or to be in touch, which is fine. And so I thought, well, perhaps, the wedding ring or the wedding band represents a spiritual bond, and wearing it, and especially as it can't be taken off, you see. So that really irked me. So this morning, in my various bits and pieces, I dropped into the jeweller's shop, and the gentleman cut it off for me. And I said, well, I suppose I could just sell it because, a bit of coin is always handy. And how much would it be worth? And so he took it into the back of his shop. He's a gentleman that I do know. And weighed it and told me that it would be £75, I think, or £73 in money. Well, £73 in money seemed to be a poor price to have for any kind of a keepsake. So I declined that kind offer, which may have been a little bit on the low side, I suspect, in terms of the amount of gold in the ring. I don't know what the price of gold is today, but he's obviously a businessman, and looks after his own interest, and why not? Indeed. So I declined, and I asked him if he could please sort of solder it together using gold solder, or using gold, braze it together, as is the manner. And so he measured the fingers, and it was found that my ring finger was still suitable for what would have been the original size. And so the brazing job should be done with a minimal amount of gold, but it will still cost a decent pile of money. Well, I don't know, 40 or 50 pounds, I think he said. And so what will I do with it? And I thought, well, I'll wear it around my neck on the chain next to the cross then. And so now I have to think, well, is that a spiritual thing to do? But I'm also reminded I had always predicted and said to my wife openly that I would wear that ring one day around my neck on a chain. But I hadn't really, given form to that thought. I suppose I thought we would one day be separated as we are, and I will do as I have predicted. And I think I first predicted it must be 30 years ago or 40 years ago when I first said that. 40? It could be even. Certainly 30. It's strange the way that life turns out, isn't it, sometimes? So the significance of a wedding band or a wedding ring, I don't think it's a biblical thing. Um, and it could be interpreted, I suppose, as a sign of bondage. But really, it's just an ornament. It's just a vanity, is it not? Um, a woman is faithful or is unfaithful, irrespective of what jewelry she wears. And a man is honourable or dishonourable, irrespective, again, of his dress, jewels, or lack thereof, because those qualities are spiritual. They're deep in the core. God bless.